Good Saturday, late afternoon, early evening from Detroit, Michigan. I'm Manny Vitale, host of My Fight or War, and just one of those days where it's just like, let's see, what can I get myself into today? Well, let's see. That didn't take long to figure out when you want to get a little something going on. So I reached out to my brother, reached out to Athens, Alabama, and this is who I have. Boston 2%.
2%ers stand all the way up. How you
How
doing, Maddie?
I'm great.
What's
brother.
up, brother?
Oh man, I was doing some run around and I got set up. So when you come on, I get the notifications so I can see what's going on in Alabama. And bam, there you are. And another one of your the events that you got going on, and I caught the very end of it. So that's why I reached out because I know it's at 6:30, right? Or your time.
Yeah, 6:30 p.m. tonight, Lincoln Bridgeport Park. It's every same spot every week. It got so big we had to move it off the property and because of the parking and all that, you know.
Is this the one that you guys originally started? And it was
like a recovery meeting.
Wasn't it like with bales of hay and it was in the front yard?
Yeah,
then it got so big, it went in the back, and then it's like
we couldn't handle it. Yeah, so we took it down to this local park. It's got like a pavilion. It's good for the rain and stuff. But yeah, it's amazing. Like between 3 and 10,000 people are watching it locally per week. It's crazy.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah.
And that's besides that, and that's totally separate from what you're doing with the kids and all that stuff, right? How's all that going?
That's going good. We paused it for a couple weeks because we're trying to find an indoor spot. You can't have the kids out in the cold like that. You know, the adults will subject to it, but not the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, the other night, we were just saying when we were off screen, it was the baptized. It was how cold that you had people in there?
It was 39 degrees.
39. Hey, you know what, though? Ain't no thing.
Right.
39 degrees, man. That is incredible. How long have you been in Athens now?
2 months. So this is week 8. We made the front page of the newspaper twice. We made the 10 o'clock news once. A church got planted in the front yard. Then it got moved. We got a faith-based recovery meeting starting up in like a week. We got so many people into treatment, 15 baptisms in the last 30 days with more on the way. Like tomorrow, I'm doing 2 more, husband and wife. Like it's crazy what God's doing. It's a movement of God down here that can't be stopped. It's crazy. And it's outside the church norm, right? This is for people who don't go to church, for people who normally would never walk in, right? So the hands and feet of the church, like the body of Christ has different functions, right? So we're at like the ground level where people walk out of homeless encampments all the way up to doctor, lawyer. Doesn't matter. If you're broken, we invite you in. Doesn't matter if you're loaded. Doesn't matter. We welcome everybody. And we bring them in, and then we introduce them to God. We show them what transformation looks like, and then the Holy Spirit does the rest. It's crazy.
Well, like I said, man, whenever I talk about you and stuff that you have done, are doing, and continue to do, like I said, it's not just sitting, behind the monitor, man. Your boots on the ground, and you're doing this shit. Your first day, I remember. I don't think it was your first day, but the first little event that happened, you were down, you met someone who was on the corner just doing a little thing. I can't remember her name, and she just invited you to come on. You weren't even supposed to, and it ended up having like thousands of views. That was your very first one. Remember that?
That was week 1.
Yeah,
it was my sister Bethany Stinnett. She's a street preacher, right? I met her. She met me through TikTok. It was a crazy way she even found me. So I come move here. She sends me this address, and she's like, my buddy from Boston is preaching tonight. And I said, okay. And it's an address to a church. So I drive uptown. She's like, oh no, we're preaching on the corner around the block. So I went on second, and I told her to hold my phone, and I did this sermon out there. It was just like, I stood up there. I said, Athens, the devil has come to sift you like wheat. And I told him about the dollar pill fentanyl coming from the West Coast and all that. Overnight, it got like 25,000. I think it's up to like 31,000 views, mostly all local people.
Oh, man. It's just
24 hours, man. It was nuts.
I remember watching it, and it was, like you said, you just walked up there. It wasn't planned, and it wasn't, scheduled or anything like that. I'm just watching it, and the numbers are just like,
Right. And this is the thing too. The numbers when you're talking about like worldwide, nationwide podcast numbers and views and stuff. Okay. That's a totally different story. I went into this and I go, I want to target the people of Athens. I want to reach the people who live here so that we can invoke change in this community. And that's what happened. And now every time we go live, we've got an audience and people are tuning in to see what craziness is going to happen next. Right.
And that's every Saturday, right? It's a schedule every Saturday, 6:30. Your guys'
it's called
time.
Broken Pieces. It's a ministry. It's like a movement of God. We don't really call it church. It's kind of like church, but it's like it's for people like us, you know.
Every Saturday, 6:30. I'm going to make sure to.
I got a lot of haters out there, Manny. I did. I we got a lot of haters, a lot of adversity. It's been a total battle. You know what I mean? But we made it through that. We had victory through that.
Oh, I tell you what, and that's the thing, man. All it is just another obstacle, just to not go around, just to go right through.
No, here's the thing with it. Let me just say this. We had full Facebook pages that had people that were attacking us in huge numbers, right? I fully believe that God's hands on my life and he will shut the mouths of my enemies or whatever. And it turns out like the people who run the pages, I had a conversation. Remember I did that live call-in show? I did a lot.
Yep. I remember that.
I had a phone number and I put the phone underneath the microphone. I just tipped it upside down. And all right. So I was like, just call in and talk to me and let's have a conversation. People who run the page were really amazing. You know, I talked to the guy's wife and then I later on I talked to him and whatever. We hashed it out. They banned all negative comments about me and Lori in the ministry. I commend them for that, their courage, and that was honorable. And then the other Athens pages, they followed suit. So I've made peace with those people. God will work out all things for the good of those who love him. I have no fear. I've got haters that watch this show, Manny. You know? Sure. I know I do. And you know what? I challenge them too. If you want to come on and have a podcast with me, if you want to get down with Boston 2%, I have no problem. You can say whatever you want, but I'm bringing it up too. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm the best at this. So let's go.
And that's the way it should be. You know, I was on last night for a short time and you just brought up a few things. It was bothered me a little bit too. It's like, you know what, when you're on a platform for support, you know, no matter what it is, it should be for support, not, you know, using it to spread any type of negativity and then any type of attack on someone. That's just the opposite of what your page is supposed to be. So I was just like, no, well, that's not going to be on my fight or wherever. But the same thing, you know, if that is going to happen, man, don't sit there and just be, you know, sending posts for hearsay comments or comments that you heard from someone else, and you don't even have firsthand knowledge of it. If that's the case, come on live and just like you said, not screaming, fighting.
No,
arguing,
and then everybody gets mad. Everyone gets mad at me when their feelings get hurt. But like the people who comment about me, they don't even know the whole story or the people involved. I just fluff them off. And then it's like, you know, and then the ones like the people I knew from the old days that are chiming in, like they better watch out too, because like I know too much type of thing. So it's like, forget it. They'll never come on with me. If they want to come on, I'd be glad to come on the platform and that's fine. But I just don't see anybody having the guts. And that's the truth.
Yeah. And the thing is, back in the old days, the way things with a lot of us in this, the way we were in the past would have been handled differently with a lot of anger, a lot of violence, and a lot of, you know, just, it would have been handled different. Now, you know, when I say stuff like that, I don't mean come on and scream and, you know, rip each other apart.
Let's have a conversation.
I mean, have a conversation. Okay. If you think this person is this, now's your chance to, you know, and if you don't know the whole story, you shouldn't be saying stuff on social media.
My whole thing is the people that take jabs at me. If I really opened up that can of worms, a lot of people would be destroyed and a lot of people would have their feelings hurt. And I'm really trying to avoid all of it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't want a war with anybody. We got a different type of war to fight.
That's exactly what I said too.
If people run their mouths, whatever, man. But it's like, you know what? Don't say nothing else until you're ready to come on on any platform with me. And if you want to come on the platform with me, we'll get down and we'll have a conversation. Period. Exactly. And the story. And I don't want to hear you if it's not that, then you don't exist. Period.
Yeah, that's just the way it should be. You know, you're gonna, you know, and that's how. Because unfortunately, we're going to have haters everywhere. And, you know, I knew jumping into social media, not everyone's going to like me. Not everyone's going to agree with me. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And OG loves it when I was doing the show one time and they heard about some issues with me when I was with the club and a lot of different fights and arguments and stuff that were happening. And I go, oh, yeah, man, I looked forward to those last, the day. I mean, throwing down and, getting crazy and all that. But now I look forward to, the confrontation and all that. It's not the same where it's about communication.
This is
controversy is a good thing. Controversy brings about conversation and ideas and thoughts in a civil manner, where the controversy in the past would have been handled totally different. But now, if you think that this person's a piece of shit, come on and get
it's
the
all
whole
jealousy
story.
and vanity. That's all it is. It's this whole online recovery world and everything. I've been trying to tell everybody for 5 years now. It's all a competition. Everybody thinks they're a star. It's all fake. The numbers you see on the songs and all this stuff is all bloated. The followers are all bought and paid for. My small, tiny following, like my TikTok's my biggest one. It's all organic. Okay. And I can tell you, I've probably sold more copies of a book at $26.99 than a lot of these people have ever sold full-length albums for anything even close to that. And it's like there's a business behind this. Is what I'm getting at. It's a shadow. It's a cover for something else. It's a big insurance fraud scheme in South Florida and California. And I know the truth. And that's why nobody wants to come on with me and debate me on it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But I did it in 2020 and they lost big.
And the thing is now, like I said, I've had a few, discussions with people that wanted me to do certain things and in the past, and the road they were going down, at first the conversation was okay. Well, yeah, let's look at this. And then as I got to learn more about, different individuals, I like, this has nothing to do with the platform that My Fight Our War and the other platforms are. It's what we are discussing is helping people, supporting people, motivating people, not sitting there running with, accusations.
We're trying to help real people.
Truths.
We're trying to help real people with real problems, and we're not trying to get super rich doing it. That's the difference. You know what I mean? Like I'm out here. We're doing ministry, real life ministry. We don't pass the plate at our little gathering at all. We don't ask for any kind of money. The only things we raised money for were the recovery books, like 20 recovery books, and we raised money for a girl who passed away from fentanyl's funeral. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's like we're out here doing real work. We're helping real people. We're mentoring them after they get out of treatment. We're taking care of them, right? We're making sure people get what they need. We're filling needs. We're trying to disciple people and lead them to the Lord for real. And that's what it's about, man. It's about transformation, giving what was freely given to us back to somebody else, right?
Exactly. And that's why I was so very blessed when I first started this journey in social media, especially in podcast world, that the ones that I first came on did their shows. God bless them, man, because they took me under their wing, and green as can be, they kind of gave me a heads up. They're like, listen, not everyone is what they seem when the cameras are shut off. And here, new to the game, I was like, oh, okay, until I started to see it. So I always thank them. Brad McLeod, Sober School, Dan and Donna Hard Knocks, man.
Right.
And then, I've been very lucky as the road, as I went down that road and the people that I got involved with. And it's just like, you know what? I will not change my beliefs. I will not change my morals as far as what I'm doing with My Fight Our War. And
we're not going to bend. And the other thing is, like, people need to realize, like, when it comes to me, I'm being absolutely merciful. Like I'm really like, I'm on a mission of mercy, trying not to hurt people's feelings nowadays. I'm trying not to ruin people. It's like, if you got a problem in your life or whatever, like that's between you and God to figure out, like, but greed is another one. Vanity's another one. It's like, I don't care about my platform. I don't. I've used it to, I sold books, Manny, because when I wrote it, I was homeless, and my life's mission was to have as many people hear, see, and read the story that God wrote in my life. That was the mission he had me on. So of course I did that. Now I've shifted the focus. Like you see, I very little promote the Meth Bible nowadays, right?
Oh,
very little.
Oh, exactly. I know.
I've shifted the focus.
We've talked numerous times, on camera and even more so off camera all the time. And, yeah, I don't hear about it. And when you're on the show, we're talking about current events. We're
Yeah.
talking about Athens, Alabama.
We
We're
had a
talking
great
about the
time the other
kids.
night with
Oh my
on
God.
Sober Patrol. It was one of the funniest shows ever, right? Now that's what I'm about. I like to have a
Chad,
good time, all that stuff.
that
know?
show, Kat hit me up. It was like 3 or 4 days before that, maybe a week before that. And she goes, listen, we want to get the show going together. And she sent me a text, and then she said who was involved. And I was like, hell yes. Are you kidding me? And I like, we were talking off screen. Me and Chad were talking afterwards because he was on my show not too long before that. And man, I mean, we did like over an hour and a half, just like with me and you, man. It's just you go and go, and a great conversation. We still didn't hit on everything, so we really hit it off, man. We're talking, so now me and him are chit chatting back and forth. So after the show, we're talking about doing more stuff together in the future. He's like, man, he goes, dude, he goes, my face freaking hurt. He goes, I have not laughed like that in so long. Right. He goes, and we were all over the place. You know, sometimes you get more than two people on, it could get a little hectic talking over and stuff. It was back and forth, and then the hashtags, the brought to you by.
Right.
It was insane.
Yeah. This was brought to you by Suboxone.
Suboxone. This is brought to you by Purell. This was brought to you by Massagale. Yeah. I mean, it was nuts. And everyone was chiming in. The posts were hilarious, or the comments were crazy. It was such a well-received because we were hitting on everything, like we were saying. We were hitting on everything from pretty serious stuff, like, of course. But then it was just like, oh, well, she opened it up. Remember how she opened it? She goes, all right, well, Manny, speaking of hookers, and I was like,
yeah, I know.
So he goes, have you ever handcuffed? I'm like, what? Where the hell are we going with this?
And it was all a play on words.
And then before that, it was, remember me and you we're sitting there. We're both like, you look like a librarian. You look like a teacher. We were both like, Varsity Blues.
Yeah, I know. It was like, because, we can do comedy. We can do serious. We can do whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, I was going to be a stand-up comic when I was 19 years old. I went to Vegas to go do it. You know what I mean? Like, I've been following my dreams as best I could since I was a young kid. But I was a drunk. I was an addict. I never succeeded at anything. And I mean, brother, I'm less than 7 years into this. Like, the sky's the limit.
Oh, my God. It's just, that's another thing that's crazy is, we'll be asking, or we'll talking to different people, different guests, different hosts. And they're like, how long you been doing this? And just like your sobriety, people are like, how long you been sober? And for me, next or January will be 27th. It'll be 5 years for me. But then coming up on like doing this stuff, I've had the studio for over a year and a half, but I went almost 5 months without even opening the door to come in here because it wasn't the right time, man. There was a lot going on, a lot of personal things going on. And I didn't want to come on here just to put shit out there. So I've only been doing this not even a year. And it just is insane, man.
It's funny. It's like you're watching people who were totally self-destructive, who couldn't do anything, right? And then you're watching people have positive conversations, life-changing stuff. That show the other night we did, somebody watched that show that was struggling. There's no doubt. Somebody who was really down in the dumps. It's like right before Thanksgiving. Like, you know how it is when you're out there drinking and stuff. Like, somebody's freaking out, terrible. They're sitting in their room. Their whole family hates them because of what they've been putting them through. And then all of a sudden they turn something like that on. And all of a sudden they're laughing out loud, belly laughing. And they're like, man, is this what recovery looks like? Because this is what I want.
Yes.
We have a blast. I don't need to go have me a Chardonnay to be able to party. All right. That's what I'm saying. I don't.
And that's how it was after the show that night. I literally was sitting there for at least a good 2 hours afterwards. I mean, it was just nonstop answering text messages, answering comments. People were just chiming in. They're like, that show was just off the hook in so many different directions. And, because yes, recovery is very serious. Yes, it's not taken lightly, but at the same time, there's a gift of recovery, and that's called living life. And I'm sure we showed what that was like. But yeah, it was just a fun time, and we're going to be doing a lot more of that. so this tonight, what are people expecting tonight then? Are there any like events going on within the city?
Oh, we're doing a recovery wedding tonight. I forgot to mention that. It's my first one ever. Yeah, we're marrying.
You're doing a ceremony, huh?
Yeah, we're doing it. It's going to be on Facebook Live. We're going to do it. And it's like, it's two people who are in active addiction together. They both got clean right around the same time. And then now they've come out. They got their kids back, fully restored family. Now they're getting hitched on the show.
That is cool as hell. I saw bits and parts of that when I saw.
See, that's what we do, man.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We watch people's lives transform. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a testimony for how good God is in recovery. And it's like, we promote transformation and we help people along the way, so it's like, we celebrate stuff like this.
I mean, hell, you're bringing a family together, man, tonight. And it just shows you the power of support, motivation, and just that family atmosphere, man, that you guys got going down there. And God bless Lori, man. She's been doing that for so long down there.
Lori's been doing it 9 years.
9 years, man. So then that little extra spark, that extra, throwing that rock in the water, making those waves is sometimes what you need. And I'm pretty sure Boston 2% is up for that.
Oh, I'm a fire starter, man. And I always have been, I'll shake the tree, and this is why when you have the truth behind you and you tell the truth about your own life story, right? You notice, Manny? Do you notice nobody's ever watched the hundreds of interviews that Boston 2% has done, and nobody's ever said, "Oh, there's an inconsistency in his story. He's a liar." There hasn't been not one time somebody's come to me and said, "Hey, you're lying about this." Because guess why, Manny? I'm going to shock you right here. I'm telling the truth. Wow. Go figure. Yeah, when you tell the truth, you don't have to backpedal your lies. You don't have to keep up with it all. So it's like we tell the truth about our testimonies to show how big God really is. Okay?
And we're doing just the opposite of what we used to do, because I know for me, man, that's all I did. Man, when it came down to dealing with addiction, when it came down to dealing with everything that was going on, it got to the point where didn't know if it came out of my mouth, it was basically a lie back then. I mean, that's just the fact of being an addiction. And like you said, forgetting about what you said, you'd sit there, tell someone something, 5 minutes later, be totally different. Be like, dude, no,
it's that like you're lying. There's an inconsistency in your story. And that that happens quite a bit in our little world. People tell stories to fabricate it to get views and stuff. Do you notice that?
Oh yeah.
It's all beefed up fakeness.
And the thing is too, like you were talking about the followers and all that, I have never, or not only that, I had people for, I don't know, whatever reason, a couple of months back, we're talking about, man, you never talk about, send me stars, send me this, send me that. I'm like, to be honest with you, like I said, being the new guy in this social media shit, I totally forgot about it. And
look,
I don't care.
You know why, Manny? Here's the truth. Guys like me and you can make a buck outside of recovery, and that is an anomaly to people. So this is what you got. You got a group of felons who come out of treatment or prison. They have an amazing life story, and they're roped in by an evil treatment facility industry, right? That charges $5,000 for a P-test, and I'm not exaggerating. Google liquid gold scandal, okay? And the money is so big. What they do is they get people like me. They'll get like a rapper who's a terrible rapper. He can't rap for nothing, and they'll pay him to be like a spokesperson, right? And they make some songs. They boost the views on YouTube. They pay for the Facebook followers, and what it is so that they can get kids who are struggling with addiction in the comments. And when the kid comments, "Oh man, I'm really struggling, but I love your music," a team of people reaches out from behind the scenes and they say, "Hey kid, do you have health insurance?" "Well, yeah, my parents do." "Send us front and back of our PPO health insurance." Then all of a sudden they make $100,000 off that one kid. Go figure. So yeah, they're going to promote your album. Yeah, they're going to give you an advertising budget. Yes, they're going to give away all the free tickets to your show so that they can get people there to your resource table, so they can sign people up to go to drug and alcohol treatment. It's all a big scam. The numbers are all bloated. Never feel bad about having a small following as long as it's real. That's what I have to say.
Oh yeah. And that's just it. I forget to I don't even know what my fight's at right now. I know it is what it is.
I could care less.
No, and that's just it. And like I said, for
It's
whatever
real.
reason, people were like chiming in and almost getting mad at me, in a funny, supportive kind of way. It's like, how come you don't ask, for sense? And I said, listen, I'm very blessed to have a job. There are people who do this, who this is their full-time job, who do their own editing, their own producing, who do all this with their equipment, who do, supplement their income. So yeah, I mean, God bless them. And of course, support them. For me, I got to that point now where, okay, now you can get the stars. Hey, everyone knows, send them if you want. I mean, I don't care. What I would rather see is looking to the right and seeing people's names and just be part of this family and just see that you're making a difference with comments and people's stories and stuff like that. So
people are so deceived by the views. Like, nobody knows what NFTs are, any of this stuff. Like, do you know how many streams you have to get to really make a living on YouTube? It is ridiculous. You need billions of streams, not millions, billions to make any significant money. So like, all that stuff is all fake. How many albums have you sold? That's what I want to know. Like, my book charted number 7 at the high point, number 7 in the drug dependency books. Okay. And that was the highest it ever went. Do you know how hard it is to, like, without a money machine to promote an album or a book and stuff? Like, we're not superstars, bro. We are regular people, but we have regular jobs that make money. And we don't have to prostitute our life story. That's it.
Yeah.
I wrote a good book about my life. 6 months of labor, right? So yeah, you got to pay. Amazon made 6 figures off my book. They did. Yeah, I get like $6 a copy, bro. They make 20.
Well, I just find it, it still cracks me up when I'll sit there and someone will have me come on their show and they're like, listen, man, people want to hear your story. That alone makes me laugh. It's like, people, why want to hear something about me? I never thought that I'd be that guy that, hey, we're interested in what you have to say, or inviting me to be a guest speaker somewhere. It's just like,
when you got an amazing story where God saved your life and you tell the truth about it, people can tell that it's genuine. And you go out there and people are starving for hope. They're starving for something real. They're starving for the truth, man.
See, you get this, and you know what? You nailed it there about earlier. We're just regular people, man. Some people get caught up in the stardom of just seeing a microphone and the cameras and thinking that they're these mega stars. It's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Take it to the highest level. God bless you. I hope you make it. But the bottom line is, you're just Patrick. I'm just Manny. That's all.
A filthy rag that came from the dust of this earth. That's it.
That's all. And it is. I by the grace of God, I made it. Through numerous calls, just like a lot of people that are sharing our stories. But now being able to share it with people in such a positive content it's so rewarding. And so all that other stuff, all that negativity, all that drama and all that, it's just like, in the past, that was my life 24/7. That's all I dealt with.
I mean, how many times were you drunk thinking in your head that you're like, I'm a star. I'm a star. I'm going to be the biggest drug dealer in the world. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. And it's like, the things you're dreaming about are plumb stupid to begin with.
It's like a legend in your own mind. And that was
right.
And now, just by being Manny, I'm getting so much positive, feedback in return just from being me and telling a story that, by the grace of God, I'm still here. And it sounds so cliche. Well, if I can do it, anyone can. But the thing is, it's true, man. Because addiction, as you know, man, addiction is just evil that makes you feel that you're alone. It makes you feel that you're a failure, and you're not, man. But you get around the wrong people, and they got you under the thumb. But that's why there's people like you and Lori.
You know what it is, Lori? I'm gonna tell you this, Manny. I'm not even really mad at these people around, because what it is it's an act of desperation, right? Like, all right, you've got 5 drug felonies and thefts and all this on your record, right? The society has branded you as a crook. They've branded you as a thief. They've branded you as you're a piece, you're scumbags, basically, right? That nobody wants to hire you at a regular job. It's very hard to find one that will, and they're usually not high paying. So you get looped into this dream that your recovery story is going to make you this big, rich and famous star or rapper or whatever it is. And it's like, listen, if you're rapping at 45 years old, your shelf life honestly is past pretty much. You might be good at it and stuff, but even the pros usually step down at about 45, 50 tops, you know? And it's like, I feel bad for them because it's like they don't have the opportunity to venture out and make legal money and provide for their families. So you're really living in a fantasy. And it's like the ego of it all drives the whole thing. And it's like, listen, go out there and do some good. When I do this, like I flew to Houston to go preach, right, with my pastor from Seattle. I get off the plane, we show up at the venue, right? There's two families. There's a mother and her son, and then there's a dad and his daughter. I helped both the kids get clean. They're both in their like 30s, right? But their parents are in their 50s, 60s, whatever. But then you see like their kids and everything show up, and it's like you've helped them through the process of early recovery. You've helped them with their faith walk with Jesus Christ, and they've completely transformed their life. Isn't that why we do this?
No, exactly.
That's a slam dunk.
Something like that. It's amazing. And
you can't buy that.
Actually, I'm just looking over here. My damn freaking monitor. Remember last time I was having issues with the thing popping up? I just saw we got, hey, we got Lori. Lori's on here. Lori, hey guys. And then we got Amanda, and then we got Swaggy himself. We got Jody. How you doing, Jody? But yeah, man. And
what's up, Jody?
That's what it's the bottom line, man, is like you're talking about the music and all that. By this madness of what I had with my life doing this now, I got to meet Skylar Ray, was a guest on the show. Now, me and him, I mean, he is my brother, man. We do our show every Wednesday.
Right.
And I've learned so much from him through what he's doing and the behind the scenes shit with him and Kayla.
Right.
Those two are freaking insane. I mean, the stuff that just like with the events you got going on, you and Lori every Saturday, and then with the kids, and then all these separate events that are going on as well. So, I mean, it's really neat for me because I learn every day, just the stuff like you're talking about, the stuff that Skylar's teaching me about with all these different avenues. And it's just another path for me to go on.
There's good and bad and everything. There's good.
Yeah.
There's people who have a genuine heart. There's people who's not. Like I come up with all this stuff that I know. Like back in 2020, I knew Bobble. I talked to him on the phone. He was like one of the original recovery rappers that was out. And Bobble told me, he's like, yeah, the treatment center would buy the tickets for the whole show. They'd buy out the entire venue, whatever it was. Like say it's 1,000 seats, say it's 500 seats, whatever. They would go out and hand the tickets out to people in recovery. They would come, and then if they scooped up 3 or 4 people that actually went to treatment, they made like $300,000. It's a big win for the squad. No. So it's like it was a front. It's a big front.
Well, that's why I was so lucky with the people that I met that are showing me, what's going on behind and all that. And with Jody, you can live out your dream. Oh, hell yeah, Jody. You can. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or 80, man. Whatever your dreams are, no one you live them out to
this is my dream, what I'm doing in Athens.
Oh,
this is my dream. And guess what? I work a job. I'm not making money off this, and this is my dream. Sometimes your purpose isn't what you get paid for. Do you understand? It's
passion.
It's something God saved your life to do. And what happens if you don't make money at it? Are you still going to do it?
Yeah.
I do.
That's like for me, I'm not making a penny on this right now. No. Not a penny. But the thing is, I'm pushing even harder now. And it's not just for that. It's because I finally found a passion. I finally found something that means more to me than money, more to me than notoriety, more to me than whatever is doing this is what it means. So yeah, man, it's a great feeling, man.
It's a good thing, and it's like, I really want peace within the whole community. That's what I want. But like,
we'll keep working at it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just, I'm not going to let people talk bad about me or my people when I know that they're not right. You know what I mean?
No. And that's just the opposite of what the support platform is. So, we do what we do. And, like I said, when I was talking yesterday, I started my fight or war for just that reason, because people, extended their hand to me to help me up, not push me down. They helped me with positive words, not telling me, bullshit lies and about myself and other people, man. So I was very fortunate by who took me under their wing when I first started this. So, like I said, I could either just keep on going, or I could, reach that hand back and grab someone along the way. And that's what we do.
God is going to carve out your own lane if you stay true. And if you stay true to yourself and stay true to the truth, and you just walk the path of righteousness as the best you can, and do it with a genuine heart. And if you do that, you've got your own thing, you've got your own style, then God's going to create a lane for you. And you don't have to conform or fit into anything that you don't agree with. Period.
No, exactly. Just like for me, and you always hear, it's, well, first of all, it's God's will. It's not mine. It's, God's time, not mine.
Right.
And for me, when I first started this, it was hard for me to believe that. And it was hard for me to really, set my faith all out there. And just because before it wasn't there, it wasn't because my vision and my mind was clouded by other things. But now that I'm in this frame of mind and I can see things clear and all, that is such a beautiful thing, because even when things start to go sideways, in the past, I would have been pissed off, but now it's just like they're supposed to. There's a reason why they are. And I just got to ride it out. And sure as shit, just like you said, all of a sudden now things were going good, and out of the blue, it's like things were going so well. Why? Because they were supposed to, because now it's going to get even better. And that's what's happening now. That's exactly what's happening. And that's what's happening to you in Athens.
Yeah, it's like this whole thing. God told me before I left Seattle that it was going to be, it's going to be one of the hardest battles of my life. I accepted the challenge anyway. And you know what? It's like when I got here, everything that he told me come true. You just keep pushing on and you keep fighting. And you look back in the rear view and you remember what God brought you through: the hospital beds, the failed organs, the accidents, the guns, everything, right? So we have all this stuff that God brought us through. You don't think he's going to get you through now? You're going to come out unscathed.
And it's funny you say that too, because now the little things that'll pop up that are like, I don't know. And then I stop and I'm like, wait a minute. I was supposed to be dead in less than 48 hours. I was, everything happened. And now I'm worried about this little incident that's going on. And I kind of catch myself laughing at my own ass. It's just like, oh man, we
do this stuff. And we strive and raise the bar for achievements. Like we do shows, we write books, we do all this stuff, right? We do all this stuff because we show the addict who's still struggling that if you apply yourself, like, you get a corporate job, whatever, you do this to build your testimony so that whoever's looking on is inspired to change themselves, period. That's why we do it. It's not a vanity thing. Not for me. Never has been.
And that's like people, my family and friends who've known me throughout all this journey, doing this I laugh at this because I was the one, man, public speaking, hell no. Doing any type of sit in front of a camera. If the camera went on, here's me, I'd freeze. I'd start hyperventilating. I'd start sweating. I mean, I was so fucking nervous, and that was just it. But now it's just like, this was meant to be. And,
we're guys who used to be in the grocery store and somebody you didn't recognize would come up to you and you'd be terrified when they said, "Hey, how you doing?" Because you were so blacked out, you don't remember who they are.
It's just like, man,
now you're on shows. Now you're on shows in front of thousands of people.
It's insane. It's insane. And then the positive feedback is enough for me to show that this is making a difference for a positive outcome. And just like, with you and the rest of our family that's doing this. And, so anyways, my brother, I just wanted to jump on here before you went on tonight. And I'm going to be chiming in. I want to see this wedding. Is it going to be towards the beginning, middle, end, or you don't know?
The wedding's going to be in the beginning. It's probably going to be Central Time. Probably, I'd say around 8:00 our time, 9 yours is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's when that'll probably kick off is what I'm thinking. Because it'll be like worship between 7:30 and 8, which is 9 your time. We'll kick it off. I'll do that first at 9 East Coast, and then we'll get going. And hey, if you have any takers on this podcast episode of these people who want to come on and they want to do a live show, then you just let me know. But we're gonna do it on Patreon where it's $15.99 to join.
Like pay-per-view.
Yeah. But I'm getting double like what's his name that fought Tyson. I'm taking double portion. Yeah.
All right, man. Boston, I love
buddy.
you, brother, man. Tell Lori I love her. Tell her
I will. She's watching.
I'm going to be. I'm still looking forward to that Dubs burger,
right,
as well as Lori's.
Hey, I just want to make a public statement. Just so, me and Lori are not a couple. I just want to make it clear to the My Fight Our War the audience, because the whole town of Athens is saying that we are, and we're not.
It's funny
and
too.
Beyond.
And the thing is, too, it's funny you say that too, because everyone says that about everyone. There's people who say stuff about me and OG, and it's like, no, it's business anyways. OG is my best friend, man. She originally wasn't OG. She was GA, because I nicknamed her my guardian angel, man. Because when I met her at the gym, man, she helped out so much. And it's people, like I said, I thank God for the people that have brought into my life. And OG is definitely one of them, man. So I hear you. People talk.
And my mother would tell me, Patrick, don't listen to the haters. They're just jealous of you, Patrick. You're so handsome.
Well, Boston, you have a great show tonight, and I love you guys, and I will be watching for you guys tonight at 6:30 your time, and I'll be checking out around to see that wedding and everything else.
All right, buddy.
Keep being you. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I love you.
All glory to God, man. I love you.
All right. Bye-bye, brother.
See you later. Bye.
All right. Well, it's never boring. It's never dull when Boston's on. But that happens with a lot of our guests. It's never boring and all that with all of our guests, because everyone's got their own story. And when it comes down to it, man, right, wrong, or indifferent, I have no problem talking to, hearing people's stories and their testimonials and sharing all these things. But the main thing, like I said, is I will not take part or have My Fight or War take part of anything when it comes to using My Fight or War's platform to slam people, and by slamming them to bring yourself up in a either professional manner, or if it's to promote followers or any personal reason, and especially in a hateful way. And the one thing that I did have happen a few times, I had people saying stuff about me, and the people that were told contacted me about this and just straight out asked me, hey, man, we heard this, and this from someone who I didn't even know, but it was heard something from someone who heard something. So you know what? No, that stops. That's grade school shit, and it's got nowhere. And the support and recovery platform. So that's it, man. But shit happens, and bottom line is we're all here for each other, to help each other and support each other. And so that being said, you guys have a great Saturday night. And we will, who is this? I will reach out to you, and we will chit chat. Anyone, like I've said, that wants to share their story, from day one, that's what My Fight or War has been about. We want to share stories. We want to get different people's testimonials out there to help other people. And for a while there, we were kind of, just spinning our wheels, but we have really taken off. OG right now, we have our Monday shows that we do every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time for our guests to come on. As now we are actually scheduled out until the end of March. Every Monday until the end of March, we have guests set up, and that's not even including our the studio in New York, where we go to every 6 weeks to do shows out there. So we've been very blessed by having this platform take off the way it is, and we're going to continue to do so. So please get a hold of us, and we will chit chat and share our stories. So until then, you guys have a great night, and don't forget tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Go to YouTube at My Fight or War, as we are going to be dropping another episode. And if you could please go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel, it'd be very helpful. Doesn't cost you a penny. And also, if you could go to TikTok and follow us on TikTok, it'd be extremely helpful as well. So you guys have a great night. And until then, keep fighting a good fight, guys.